Peace, infinite waters, diving deep. Once again, here we are. It's cold, it's windy, it's wet, and the sun is shining somewhere in the Caribbean. Why? I've got the stream behind me, flowing with water, so I'm fooling myself I'm in a tropical island. But wait, holidays are coming soon. The empowered human 360 senses. Remember who you are. So much is happening on the planet right now. So much information, the acceleration of technology, of information. People have called it the quickening before in the past. And I'm just seeing how, although it seems that a lot of people are coming into awareness, there are just so many levels of this game. And really and truly, I just see more and more that sometimes you could be talking with someone who you feel is also on your same frequency, but at the same time, they're seeing it in a whole different way. When I talk of remember who we are, for me, I'm just realizing that more and more, as we step outside of this state of amnesia, because really and truly, humanity has been put asleep. We've put ourselves to sleep through our own ignorance and through our senses, which is the 5 senses. We have really allowed ourselves to be shut down, not only through the media, through food and nutrition, through entertainment. All of these things are really distracting us from our true potential, which is really for all of us to tap inside our own authenticity. And I feel that the more and more you connect with someone on a similar frequency, the more and more that people begin to question on this planet, then really and truly all they can do is just scratch their head, because the moment that you question, then really and truly you realize how much you don't know. And for me, that's what it's all about, because as I'm seeing it, the manipulation which has happened to humanity for so long is simply because we're living in this ritual, this pattern, and a lot of us, we're all responsible for it to some degree, because a lot of us, we are still running the program of, really we're fooling ourselves every single time we are waking up and we're doing that same whole ritual, which is because this system is really over. It's ended a long time ago, and a lot of people can see that. And really and truly, humanity has become a fire. This system has become a fire, especially in the West. And what's happened is that it's burning everything in its path because it's self-destructive. Its mission is to annihilate itself, and that's what's going to happen, because when the fire has consumed everything, the only thing left for the fire to consume is itself. And that's what's happened in this society. That's what's happening right now. And to be honest, I feel that a lot of people say, what am I going to do? What are you going to do? And for me, I always look at it like this. We are the power. And for me, that's where I get my empowerment from, to realize that nobody is going to save me. Because for so long, humanity has been under the spell of fairy tales. The Hopis had the saying that the one who tells the stories rules the world. And that's so fantastic, because really and truly, there is no difference between fact and the fiction. The Hollywood, which is really just the ritual to really enslave humanity further through this fabulous storytelling. They tell the stories, but at the same time, they're ruling people's imagination. Just the same as the media, the newspapers and all of these things. But really and truly, because humanity, we've been externalizing our power for so long, now it's time to reclaim our power. And for me, I've just realized that I have to realize that I am the power. I am the source. In essence, we are the battery powering everything in our reality. There is nothing outside there. And I think a lot of times, for me, the big awakening came when I realized that no two people are seeing this thing the same way. And when that happens, really and truly, you realize that there is no guru. What happens is that you meet people on a similar frequency, and when two people can actually honestly say to themselves that really and truly we're living in an infinite universe, because so much of what we've been told in schools is lies. Schools, in fact, are there to really enslave people further, to take away their imagination. That's what schools do. And education, the root word educare comes from the Latin to bring out. So instead of bringing out the talents and the gifts of children, we're taking away their imagination through these schools. Parents say, oh, what can I do? My child needs to go to school, they need to learn. But in essence, what we're doing is we're continuing the ritual. So really and truly, that's what happens. The wheel of life just goes around and around, and the continuation continues unless people are willing to break the pattern, which takes a lot of guts to say, okay. And that's why I really commend parents who have really homeschool their children, because it takes a lot of guts to do that, to remember who we are as sovereign beings on this planet, to realize that the government does not control us. The government does not have our interests close to their heart. And for me, the more and more I'm realizing is that just being honest to ourselves and stepping out into nature, because that's the only way for us to be in nature, to be humorous again, to not take things so seriously, and to remember that we came here to play. And all of this competition that we're in, when people go to school, they're in competition to get the best grade on the paper. They're in competition to, you go to get a job and you're in competition to get that promotion. You're in competition with your next door neighbor because they've got a nicer car than you. This is just childish. And really and truly, I'm just seeing it like this. Until we can all become honest with ourselves to say this system isn't working, then really and truly we deserve what we get. Because there is no individual, we move as a collective. So in essence, we're all responsible. And this is how I'm seeing it. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Peace. Stay healthy, stay well, and stay in nature. Peace.